tangible now.
So much on the line here, and a bit scrappy early on. MBAYA in the red, Denes in the blue, and it's Denes who just had the better of that, although he's been told not to use the inside of the glove. Denes with a left hook landing.
With Fiston in your name, it would be hard to imagine any other sport that you would you would grow into. Yeah, it just it seems a natural.
Indeed.
That's the bell for the ring A, which you can see occasionally over the shoulder. It's camera right of where we're seeing now. Sometimes there's audio and cheering from over there.
Well, we saw in our first bout, and the referee stopped thinking it was the bell for this ring.
We've also seen trainers rush up to the ring from the same sounds, and then they turn around and they realize it's not in their ring.
MBAYA lands a good left. That's his best punch of the contest so far, and then a right. And just signs he's starting to work out, Boyka. Boyka happy to stand back, wait for MBAYA to throw the first shot. Just over a minute to go in round one. Denes turned to land there with a combination. Again, you can see a couple of gloves, a couple of contact with the inside of the glove, and just a word to keep the heads apart.
A pair of 24-year-olds. We've seen you know, a gamut from soon to be 37 all the way down to 18.
Oh, good left from MBAYA. That rocked Denes. Denes gets moving and
seems to punch his way out of trouble there.
Through the guard from Denes, but he is getting picked off. Firing back.
Impressive from MBAYA here. Over the last minute.
Good start. I think he's the one on top in this opening round. Just over 10 seconds left of it, and they're starting to trade.
Oh, they are.
That's the end of the round. Just thought MBAYA with the better shots, and give that one to him.
I thought the pre-fight stare down was clearly...
Is that worth a point to you?
No, but I thought Boyka went in with an edge, but I agree. Although, again, I've learned in the last 24 hours that you have to wait and see.
Good shots landed there from Boyka right at the start. But I thought MBAYA came on strong, especially in the middle of the round. That was a good combination from MBAYA.
MBAYA is the 3 seed, and it's reflected there with 4
in favour of MBAYA, 1 for Denes. No complaints there. It wasn't a one-sided round, but
no, but he was the more busy and
yes.
Had the stronger shots, I think. So now it ups the ante for Denes here in round 2. Just 3 rounds, just 9 minutes total, 6 minutes left to put yourself really, really close.
Good jab from MBAYA. Denes felt that. Just using that reach advantage, MBAYA.
Well, Boyka needs to live up to his nickname if he's going to get back into this as a furious rallier who takes a lot but keeps on coming, and I think that's what he needs to do here.
MBAYA just a bit sharp and clever. He's moving
he is.
Out of the path of those big shots.
Mm-hmm.
And,
getting in and getting out. And like that movement. It's so important as you move on to the higher levels. To be able to throw, but to be able to get out and then move right back in.
2 good boxers here, showing good attack and defense. But MBAYA just with the edge. He's covering up when Denes tries to land.
technique, I think the skill level just a little bit ahead of where Boyka is
Yes.
at this point.
I'd agree with that. See, just trying to feint, both boxers trying to fool the other. High guard from MBAYA.
Again, we're into a bit of a lull. Never mind.
We were briefly, and MBAYA trying to land with a combination.
I think this has gone exactly how MBAYA would want it to.
Yeah.
You know, really not pressured much, able to slip and continue to score.
Minutes ago in round 2. It's not been the all-action contest that we've seen from some of the earlier bouts, but it's been a good display from MBAYA so far.
Well, we have a third round to go, and you know, there's urgency just by the nature of saying it's the last round. But you're right, it's been very tactical. And I would say that MBAYA is very happy with that course.
30 seconds to go in round 2. Can Dennis produce something big and maybe take the round? It's MBAYA who lands the quality right hand there. Dennis straight back. But, he needs to change something here. MBAYA slipping the shot. Oh, look at that step from MBAYA. Advancing with intent.
He did. Bit of a procession, I would call it.
Dying seconds of round 2. And I'd say it's another one for MBAYA. It's not one-sided, it's not domination, but he just seems to be in control.
I agree. Yeah, and again, I think some of the inactivity is thanks to, I don't want to say the defensive skills of MBAYA, but he just manages to slip and plant enough doubt in Dennis' head that it's hard to really, for him to go all in, because he's paying a price if he does wade in without a good plan.
Yeah, I think we're going to see in this final round, perhaps,
Boyka
live up to his nickname.
Yep. Well, he has to.
I think he's going to come out firing.
He's going to have to.
Which he hasn't really done so. He did it right at the start of the bout. He showed some aggression, showed some intent. And again, 4 judges giving it to MBAYA and 1 to Dennis. Actually, a different judge this time. Judge D gave Dennis the first. Judge A gave Dennis the second. But what it means is that MBAYA's well on top. He's 2 points ahead.
So
on 3 scorecards.
Now, a storybook ending would be Boyka rallying with fury. So we'll see.
We'll see. He needs to turn it on. He needs to start coming forward.
And MBAYA's equal to whatever's coming his way. At least that's what it's appeared.
I like MBAYA. I'm really impressed by what I've seen.
Me too. It's really under control and technically very sound.
Yes.
And deceptively quick with his side movements and getting back and avoiding.
Inside of the glove, I think, again. Just over 2 minutes left for Boyka to turn this bout around. It's not really showing that much intent, though.
No,
You can see him trying to pick his shot.
Yeah.
But I think he just needs to start throwing some leather.
I think you're right. I think that's the only way through for him is to just go.
He needs to really go for it, and he's trying here, but
he's taking a few shots as he goes.
He is.
Now it's 90 seconds inside, and this has been a workmanlike. I don't want to, like you said, that wasn't domination, but just a workmanlike
business.
Yeah.
Just MBAYA lands with the left. Dennis responds, but doesn't seem to be too much power behind Dennis's shots either. MBAYA seems to have taken everything fairly comfortably.
Yep.
Maybe MBAYA hasn't been caught flush with one yet either. He's proving slightly difficult to hit. 55 seconds left in round 3. MBAYA with the combination. Denes tries to respond, but as soon as MBAYA lands, he's out of there quickly. And it's been a good display from the man from DR Congo.
MBAYA now just one win away from, assuming that the decision goes this way, from pushing his Democratic Republic of the Congo closer to a medal. They haven't medaled since London 2012 in boxing. And again, this puts him into the semifinals. And just one more win, he'll have 2 shots at it, assuming the decision goes his way. I've seen nothing to change that.
Inside the last 10 seconds, and this one petering out. Boyka hasn't come forward with the gusto that we expected. And MBAYA raises his hands, and that was a very professional performance from the man from DR Congo. And we expect
a correction. I believe I mentioned a medal. For the Democratic Republic of the Congo, they have not been to the Olympics since 2012. So he is one win away from changing that.
And every chance of doing so. I've been impressed by the DR Congo. We've seen quite a lot of bouts with DR Congo boxers, and we've talked about the inspiration of Rumble in the Jungle, and they're turning out some good boxers. Quite a few with chances of qualification for Tokyo.
Yeah, and one right here.
Absolutely.
He will move on and face the winner of our next bout.
Yeah, the standard keeps rising.
Abdelli and Collin.
Yeah, that should be a good contest. Collin, bags of experience. Beats the Beijing 2008. But this bout between Fiston MBAYA and Brendon Denes, it goes the way of MBAYA, and he wins on points. And I'm fairly certain that's a unanimous decision. I didn't hear the announcement.
Pointing to his head. A lot of times they'll flex up, but he was pointing to his head. I think. And that speaks to, I think, what makes him so difficult. He's a thinking man's warrior in there.
He showed, as you say, technically very correct. High guard, lands, gets out of there. Good speed, good hands, good footwork. He looks, he may not have the big punch, but he's almost the complete package as he's being carried away, lifted away.
Gotta love that. gotta, you gotta rest up. You gotta hold his energy levels and his team, making sure he doesn't have to walk at all.
Take it easy. Wasn't a unanimous decision. Judge A gave Denes the last round, so 4-1 to MBAYA, but he is safely through.